Okay, so I spoke about endpoint security last. The next area I would consider is reverse engineering. That's reverse engineering software. It's pretty cool, I have to say. I didn't realize until I did it in college how really interesting it was. But you take applications that have already been built and you basically break them down and re-engineer them to find out how they work. It's pretty cool. Um, let's see. Then there's databases and SQL. So in IT, you have database administrators, and because you have database administrators, databases are where information is housed. So you have to know how to secure those databases, and you really should know the SQL language to do that. Then there's a really popular one. Open source intelligence is another area of cybersecurity that you should consider. Open source intelligence has only become really popular in the past couple of years. It's something I've done for almost 30 years, my entire career. And it actually a lot of times coincides with threat intelligence because it's using the same tools, a lot of the same tools, to dig up information about attackers. Open source intelligence are things that some of the people on TikTok that like look up information about people and find out where they live and find out where they work and all that stuff. That's what they're doing. It's open source intelligence. Their names escape me now. But yeah, so that's a pretty cool area. Just my knowledge of that got me a job in a federal agency at one point in time. But that was a long time ago. So after OSINT, I think I would probably start looking into artificial intelligence. Okay, AI, how it works. LLMs, GPTs, that stuff. Understanding how they work right now is essential, because though I think it's overly dramatized about what it's capable of doing. That's just my personal opinion. I could be wrong, but I just don't think it's as mature as what they sell us half the time. But we still have to know how to secure it. And to secure something, you have to understand how it works, okay? So there's that, AI and cybersecurity. Then understand generative AI, GPTs, prompt engineering. Everyone needs to know how to write a prompt. You can actually use ChatGPT to troubleshoot cybersecurity issues. You just have to know how to talk to it. Because things like ChatGPT, they're trained on the internet. So when I say trained on the internet, it's basically something called a giant LLM, which is like a giant database that has absorbed all this information. And when I say all this information, I mean everything that's on the internet. If it's on the internet, generally chat has absorbed it into its database. And whenever you ask it a question, it pulls from that knowledge to answer your question. So if any of this stuff, cybersecurity questions included, whether it's test exam, questions or whatever, you can ask chat. Now, you got to double check that stuff, but because it isn't always accurate. But it's a good place, a good resource for information. And then get into AI agents. AI agents are individual programs using AI that run for specific purposes. You can run an AI agent to be like a customer service, person. I have an AI agent that cleans out the junk in my email box. Just things like that. You can program to do all kinds of things. I'm getting long-winded again. So, but that's the end of my specific cybersecurity engineer roadmap. All those are areas that you can look into. Again, so long-winded explanation to that comment. Where would I start? I would start by figuring out what area I want to work in. And once you figure that out, then I can help you answer the next question. Where do you start? Okay?